Hi, this is Stephanie Lotvin of Tellybean Knits, and today I'm going to show you how to work the smocking stitch. This is such a beautiful stitch, and it creates a really nice squishy fabric that I love so much. It's so pretty. So I'm going to show you how to work that smocking stitch when you are working clue 3 of your mystery knit-along cowl. Okay, I'm ready for my first smocking stitch. To work that smocking stitch, I'm going to count 6 stitches to the left on my left-hand needle. So I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to insert my right-hand needle between the 6th and 7th stitch on my left-hand needle. If you have any trouble inserting your needle between those stitches, you can just give the fabric below your left-hand needle a gentle tug so you can find the opening. I'm going to insert my needle from the front to the back between the 6th and 7th stitches on my left-hand needle. Now I'll just grab my yarn and wrap my yarn as if to knit, and then I'm going to pull that loop through. I'm going to keep that loop relatively long because it'll make it a little easier for me to work the next step of this smocking stitch. I'm going to place that long loop on the tip of my left-hand needle without turning that loop. So I'm just going to insert my left-hand needle and bring that stitch off of my right-hand needle onto my left-hand needle. Now you'll see that that stitch likes to lay across the front of my fabric. When it lays across the front of those stitches, it makes it a little trickier to work the next step. So you can just use your thumb or on either hand to hold that stitch down and make that lay a little flatter so that you can see those stitches on the tip of your left hand needle. I'm just going to hold that down, and now I'm going to insert the tip of my right hand needle into the long loop and that next stitch on my left hand needle knitwise, and I'm going to knit those 2 stitches together. So I will knit those 2 stitches together. Now at this point, I like to tighten that loop up just a little. Now I don't want to go crazy and get it really tight. I've just tightened it up enough so that if you find that you're having any really long loose loops, we don't need a long loose loop here. You just want to give that a gentle tug, and it will tighten the stitch on your right hand needle as well as start to tighten that loop that you have created when working your smocking stitch. Now I'm going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 2, and I've just worked a smocking stitch. So you can see my smocking stitch here. It is a relatively long loop across the front of my work, as you can see in my other smocking stitches. That is going to cinch that ribbing together to create this beautiful texture on the right side of your work. It's actually quite pretty on the wrong side of your work as well, although not as dramatic. Let me show you how to work that smocking stitch one more time. So I'm just going to purl 2 stitches so I'm ready for my next smocking stitch. All right, I'm going to count over 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches on my left hand needle, and I'm going to insert the tip of my right hand needle between the 6th and 7th stitch on my left hand needle. So I'll insert that from front to back between the 6th and 7th stitches. I'm going to wrap my yarn as if to knit and then pull a long loop through. You can keep that loop relatively long so that it doesn't get too in your way. Insert the tip of your left hand needle to place that loop onto your left hand needle and then remove your right hand needle. And now we're going to knit the long loop and the first stitch on your left hand needle together. So knit those 2 stitches together. Make any adjustments that you need to the tension on that loop. It's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to knit 1, purl 2, and knit 2. And I've just worked another smocking stitch. And something I want to point out with those stitches is that when you are working the smocking stitch, you're going to see that things get pretty bunched up, and that is okay. Part of that is because you're working ribbing here, and part of it is because you are also cinching that ribbing together with those smocking stitches. They will open up quite a lot when you block your cowl or your fabric working those smocking stitches. So if you're worried that it's getting too small or it's looking too scrunched up in that section, don't worry, there is some blocking magic to come. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it.